The Wonderful Dharma Flower Sutra, Chapter 25, The Universal Gateway of Bodhisattva, Perceiver of the World's Sounds. At that time, Bodhisattva, in exhaustible intent, posed this question in a verse form. World-honored one, replete with wonderful features, I now ask you once again, for what reason that Buddha's son is named Perceiver of the World's Sounds? The honored one, endowed with wonderful features, replied to inexhaustible intent in verse. Listen to the actions of the perceiver of sounds, how aptly he responds in various quarters. His vast oath is deep as the ocean. Kalpas pass, but it remains unfathomable. He has attended many thousands and millions of Buddhas, setting forth his great pure vow. I will describe him in outline for you. Listen to his name, observe his body, bear him in mind, not passing the time vainly, for he can wipe out the pains of existence. Suppose someone should conceive a wish to harm you, should push you into a great pit of fire. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and the pit of fire will change into a pond. If you should be cast adrift on the vast ocean, menaced by dragons, fish, and various demons, think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and the billows and waves cannot drown you. Suppose you are on the peak of Mount Sumeru, and someone pushes you off. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and you will hang in midair like the sun. Suppose you are pushed by evil men who wish to throw you down from a diamond mountain. Think on the power of the perceiver of sounds, and they cannot harm a hair of you. Suppose you are surrounded by evil-hearted bandits, each brandishing a knife to wound you. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and at once all will be swayed by compassion. Suppose you encounter trouble with the king's law, face punishment, about to forfeit your life. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and the executioner's sword will be broken to bits. Suppose you are imprisoned in king and lock, hands and feet bound by fetters and chains. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and they will fall off, leaving you free. Suppose, with curses and various poisonous herbs, someone should try to injure you. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and the injury will rebound upon the originator. Suppose you encounter evil rakshasas, poisonous dragons, and various demons. Think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and then none of them will dare to harm you. If evil beasts should encircle you, their sharp fangs and claws inspiring terror, think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and they will scamper away in boundless retreat. If lizards, snakes, vipers, scorpions threaten you with poisonous breath that sears like flame, think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and hearing your voice, they will flee of themselves. If clouds should bring thunder and lightning strike, if hail pelts or drenching rain comes down, think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and at that moment they will vanish away. If living beings encounter weariness or peril, immeasurable suffering pressing them down, the power of the perceiver of sounds' wonderful wisdom can save them from the sufferings of the world. He is endowed with transcendental powers and widely practices the expedient means of wisdom. Throughout the lands and the 10 directions, there is no region where he does not manifest himself. In many different kinds of evil circumstances, in the realms of hell, hungry spirits or beasts, the sufferings of birth, old age, sickness, and death, all these he bit by bit wipes out. He of the true gaze, the pure gaze, the gaze of great and encompassing wisdom, the gaze of pity, the gaze of compassion, constantly we implore him, constantly look up in reverence. His pure light, free of blemish, is a sun of wisdom, dispelling all darkness. He can quell the wind and fire of misfortune, and everywhere bring light to the world. The precepts from his compassionate body shake us like thunder. The wonder of his pitying mind is like a great cloud. He sends down the sweet dew, the Dharma rain, to quench the flames of earthly desires. When lawsuits bring you before the officials, when terrified in the midst of an army, think on the power of that perceiver of sounds, and hatred in all its forms will be dispelled. Wonderful sound, perceiver of the world's sounds, Brahma's sound, the sea tide sound. They surpass those sounds of the world. Therefore you should constantly think on them, from thought to thought, never entertaining doubt. Perceiver of the world's sounds, pure sage, to those in suffering and danger of death, he can offer aid and support. Endowed with all benefits, he views living beings with compassionate eyes. The sea of his accumulated blessings is immeasurable. Therefore you should bow your head to him. At that time, the Bodhisattva earth holder immediately rose from his seat, advanced and said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, if there are living beings who hear this chapter on Bodhisattva, perceiver of the world's sounds, on the freedom of his actions, his manifestation of a universal gateway, and his transcendental powers, it should be known that the benefits these persons gain are not few." When the Buddha preached this chapter on the universal gateway, a multitude of 84,000 persons in the assembly all conceived a determination to attain the unparalleled state of Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi.